Hello there, Internet. I'm Johnny B. I'm wearing a very strange sweater t-shirt type hybrid thing, and this is today's episode of Life Unedited. So, Internet, today I would like to make a confession to you. I have come to the realization that I have an addiction, and as anyone will be the first to tell you, the first step is admitting you have a problem. So here goes. I am addicted to stories. What do I mean by that, you ask? Well, to explain, allow me to tell you a story, which may mean that you're enabling me to maintain my addiction, but I don't care. Anyway, rewinding to when I was a child. I have always really loved to read. When I was a kid, I would pick up just about any book I could find and start reading it, even when I was supposed to be doing something else. In all honesty, this actually got me grounded from reading on several separate occasions. I didn't really care what the book was about or how old a kid it was supposed to be for. I read like high school age books when I was in elementary school. All I cared about was that it had a good story, good characters, and was fairly well written and was entertaining. As I got older, that love of stories kind of expanded its reach beyond books. It went into the world of video games that had compelling stories, and TV shows that had compelling stories, and now even writing things that have compelling stories. Actually, those might have been out of order. I feel like it was more video games, writing, movies. But anyway, it doesn't matter. As I've gotten older, I've spent more and more of my time and of my life investing in these worlds that I've come to realize aren't real. See, when I was a kid, I think I kind of had this idea that these books and these characters and these other things happening kind of actually happened. Now, I didn't really believe that they were history, but my imagination was so strong that I could kind of create these alternate worlds and I would interact with these characters through these books and through these games and through these stories. Well, as I've gotten older, I've kind of kept doing that, and it's reached the point where, as a nearly 20-year-old, I don't really have the time or the ability to devote so much of my life to these stories, but I found myself kind of unable to stop. I mentioned a few weeks ago that whenever a new book is coming out, I feel compelled to go back and read the whole series before I read the new book, and I think that kind of stems from it, that I think that maybe something new might have happened in these characters' lives leading up to this that I might have forgotten about. Or as far as video games go, I'll spend extra hours poring over every little piece of dialogue and backstory to the game, hoping that there's some new tidbit I can learn about these people and their lives, even though they're all represented by ones and zeros in some digital realm. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and yes, there are far worse things that I could be addicted to. I won't even go into those, but I've started to realize that being addicted to stories could really be a bit of an issue. Number one, my emotions are tied way too strongly into these fantasy worlds. Take, for example, yesterday, and this is the event that actually kind of sparked this thought going around in my brain hole. I was playing The Walking Dead, the video game. Now, before you get all freaked out, it's not really about zombies, and that's why it appealed to me. It's about these characters and how they live in the world. And I finished the game, and no spoilers or anything, but holy cow, the ending was phenomenal, and it was really sad. And I spent like the rest of the afternoon mourning over one of these characters that I realized was not a real person. Contrast that with the fact that when something bad happens in the real world, and I hardly feel anything about it. I mean, it makes me sad, but it doesn't really make me super emotional. And I've come to realize that my emotional priorities are entirely tied into this entire other world that doesn't really exist. So why am I telling you guys this? Well, I don't really know, aside from the fact that I thought that maybe getting it out of my head might help me realize how stupid it really sounds and help me to get over it, but I don't know. And honestly, I guess I don't even really know if it is a problem. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the commentaries if you struggle with the same kind of story addiction, or if you think I'm crazy, or if you have any suggestions about what I could do, or if you think it's not even really that much of an issue, because I realize there are way worse things I could do with my time, like just wasting it away. At least like stories and writing and reading are somewhat productive. I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses for myself. But there you go, that's what I've been thinking about for the past 24 hours. I hope that maybe it'll spark some thought in your brain hole, little electronic camera box people. And until next time, I don't really have anything to say for my sign off, so deuces.